Hey guys, I'm Casmo and I'm a recovering helicopter pilot. And in this video I'm going to tell you the top 5 things you need to do to be a great virtual rotary wing aviator. Tip number 1, look cool. Okay, that one's a joke, but seriously, second tip, understand torque. Torque is the result of the engine working to spin the main rotor. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, so as the blades turn one way, the engine, and by extension the fuselage, want to turn the other way. Naturally, this makes it very difficult to fly, so something is required to counter that torque, which is where your tail rotor comes into play. This generates thrust, which allows you to vary the resultant torque to maintain your heading or to turn the nose about the z-axis of the aircraft. Excessive increase in power will generate more torque than you can manage in some situations, however, so understanding the relationship between control inputs and torque is probably one of the most important things a helicopter pilot must know in order to keep his aircraft and crew safe. 3. Rotor RPM. The blades of your main rotor system generate lift by slicing through the air, creating high and low pressure differentials, which thereby lift them into the air, just like fixed wings do on airplanes. However, just like an airplane requires a certain amount of speed to create this pressure differential, so too does the main rotor system. While aircraft have various means to display this value, most US military aircraft have calibrated 100% as the optimal lift generating number of rotations which will provide the required lift. Going too far below that value will result in a rotor droop, meaning the speed of rotation is unable to generate the pressure differential and will not generate lift. Contrarily, overspeeding the rotor runs the risk of damaging the system. Rotor RPM is critical for a helicopter pilot, as this is where life-giving lift is derived. Even in the event of a total engine failure, the rotor is designed to capture the airflow while the aircraft is falling and continue to spin the system at 100%. While you can't fly with this lift, it is enough to trade at the bottom of the fall to create a cushion of lift, allowing you to land a completely inoperative aircraft safely to the ground. It is crucial that in the event of a loss of engine power, the pilot establishes collective, and by extension rotor blades angle, to an optimal setting to capture that airflow and maintain a healthy rotor RPM. Number 4. Hovering. Hovering is an art as much as a science. Much like riding a bike, the first few times can be, well, terrifying. But once you learn to balance all those forces at odds with one another, you can very elegantly maneuver a helicopter to the tightest of places and in the most challenging of conditions. The key to hovering lies in steady and relaxed control. Too often new pilots tend to over-control the aircraft and react too late instead of anticipating the aircraft's movements. Remember, there is a slight delay of an input to its manifestations in the control surfaces. If you drift to the right and correct to the left, you won't always instantly feel that correction. Human nature then forces you to add more input, around the same time that first input and finally kicks in. Now you have overcorrected the original drift, and the cycle starts again in the opposite direction. Take your time and learn to feel and anticipate the aircraft's movements. Number 5. Slow down. Too many new pilots are calibrated to land like an airplane, keeping their speed up to avoid a stall. Additionally, a nose-low attitude as found in airplanes before they flare can add more difficulty to learning how to land a rotary wing aircraft. Instead, you have to understand the importance of airspeed, and that gently slowing down well prior to your intended touchdown point is crucial for a controlled landing, and a nose-high attitude is the only way to achieve that deceleration. Practice decelerating from different speeds and learn how much space is required to bring the aircraft to a stop. You should refine this control touch until you can stop at a predefined spot, and then practice such a deceleration while descending, bringing your aircraft to a hover at the intended point of termination. Also remember what we discussed about torque. Waiting to pull in collective at the bottom of your descent deceleration will undoubtedly increase your torque and put the aircraft into a dangerous and potentially unrecoverable state at the worst time. Slowly increase collective as you slow your airspeed, and establish a hover torque as you end your approach. See my other videos about torque and landing for more details on the aerodynamics and power requirements involved in a successful landing. Well, there you have it, the top 5 things you need to know to get good at helicoptering. So what's giving you the most trouble? Drop it down in the comments below and let me know. Don't give up, keep practicing, and I'll see you soon. Take care.